I'll come back and I'll stop my share. And do we want to start with yours?
No, I think we should start with yours. We missed you last week.
Okay. All right. So you can see us. We'll go around the room and have people introduce and see what they want to know. So we're going to talk about iPad tips and tricks and answer any questions that you have today. And we have no formal agenda that we're locked into. So I'm going to have us go around and introduce ourselves. So I'm Bruce Huddleston. I'm the sleepy guy. I'm the coordinator of instructional technologies here. So we've been working with some iPads here for about 2.5, 3 years.
And I'm Sherry Klein. I'm the youth program coordinator over at Workforce. And I just got my iPad not too long ago. So anything you teach me will probably be good. I can do my email. I don't know. I can take pictures. I don't know a lot else.
All right. Well, good. That fits right in with what, something that Libby planned on talking about today, with the pictures.
I'm Martha, and I'm multimedia secretary. And I saw on there where you said something about talking about iOS 8, and I'd like to know a little bit more about that since I went ahead and uploaded it, and all that good stuff. And plus any little tips I can always get, just refresher.
Okay. Well, I saw there's Palmer. I'm new to the iPad world with what it is. So yeah, I'm just anything I can learn. Okay.
Very good. And I'm Libby Snipes, and I called this meeting, but with Bruce's, help and everything. So yeah, looking forward to talking about iPads. And we have, let me see if I can do this. We have another person over here now.
Halfway.
I'm trying to zoom out. You can't see him. You can't hide, Mike.
Yeah, a little stage left there, Mike.
And you are?
Mike Salee, trying to learn more.
All right, that's what we like. We always like the lifelong learners. We're never done. We're never ever done. So, any questions any place where we want to start today with a question that you have, and let's start with their questions, Libby, and try to address those, and if we can fill up some places in between there, we'll do that.
Okay. So,
go ahead.
What was the question again?
Does anybody have any questions they'd like to start with?
I was a little wanted to know a little bit more about the iOS 8. I mean, I printed out a bunch of stuff here telling me what it's supposed to do, but and I've noticed a few things since I went ahead and did the update on it.
Come in. How you doing?
There's anything.
Help yourself to refreshment.
Actually, that's a good thing for everybody to know, Barb. And I think Bruce was kind of show people not to be so queasy about, back up your iPad and then go ahead and go to the next operating system in general. Does that sound right, Bruce?
Yeah. And that I was kind of doing a sidebar with Cheryl a moment ago. Cheryl, we're install iOS 8, but you might want to back up your iPad first if you got some things on there. So I'll include some links. I'll include some links with it. So if I can steal the screen there.
And we'll post those links out on our blog.
Yes.
Maybe we'll wrap them up as a Digo package.
Yep, sounds good. So I'll include some links here. So I've got some links on backing up. So iOS is the operating system for the iDevices, the iPads and the iPhones. And this is I'm not going to go through this, but I just want to share. This is it. It talks about some different ways to back up. You go through iCloud to back up. iCloud now is, Apple's expanded it so that you can buy more storage at a fair price. I think it's a little high, but you're paying for the convenience of it. I think you get 20 gigs for like $2 a month, something like that. So to me, it was worth, I had to get 20 gigs so I could back up one of my iPads, because what happens is if I go to another iPad and I set it up with my Apple ID, then all the stuff that's on this one can be on that one using that same Apple ID. So all the apps that have been purchased on that Apple ID. So I can do that up to 5 devices that way. And then I also run my photos and documents, apps, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It tells you, like right here where it talks about talks here about go ahead.
I think Barb was also wondering, so maybe can you show them, well, Barb knows this, but maybe not everybody knows where they go to update their operating system.
Okay, yeah. This is what's backed up. So your bookmarks, contact calendars, documents that you save in iCloud. So there's an app, when it says an iOS app, so there's apps like Pages, Numbers, and Keynote are what they're referring to as iOS apps.
And what are those things? Pages?
Pages is like Word.
Okay.
It's the word processor. Numbers is like Excel. Keynote's like PowerPoint.
Okay.
And so it'll save those. You can, even if you go to a Mac computer, you can go to iCloud.com and sign in with your Apple ID and have access to those apps online for free. All right. So anyway, this is what's backed up. We'll put that resource, iOS backup, in our on our blog. We'll send out that link after this. Libby, you want to add something there?
No, that all sounds good.
All right. So let me ask about. All right. So if I want to see if I can update the operating system, where do I go? So I go to Settings. So I'm in. It's kind of hard to see since share is up here. But this is in Settings, and then if I tap About, it tells me down here under Version. So over here under Version, it tells me I have 802, and that's the latest version. So if I have 7, that's an older version. So everything's being updated to 8, and has some interesting features. And some apps have only, the most recent apps, the newest apps have only been developed for 8. I'm not sure how far backward compatible. So go ahead and update it after you back up. That's the kind of the word of the information for the day. Libby, go ahead. Something to add there?
No. I guess I would say, I don't know if you run into this, Bruce, but there's times when I have too much stuff on my iPad to back up. I mean, it won't back up. And so I have a couple choices. One is to throw away all that stuff I don't need. And one of the things I want to mention is if you have some really cool apps and you're like, oh man, I don't want to get rid of these. Well, you know what? If you delete them, they are still available in the cloud that we've been talking about. Isn't that right, Bruce?
Yes. There's those apps that you downloaded are associated with your Apple ID. Yeah. So one of the experiments I'm doing now is almost coming up on a year ago, I got a free iPad. So I finally got out of the box the other day. So my challenge is I want to see if I can go back to just a 16 gigabyte iPad to just be mine, and not with all the experimental apps that I have on another one. So that's exactly right. That's a real nice feature. And then also, if you turn on here in Settings, if you there's iCloud here. So I've already logged in as bhuddles at mac.com.
And while I'm thinking of it, see how Bruce has all of those. So he's backing up everything. And to me, if I run out of my iCloud storage, I start to say, oh, my mail, it's backed up somewhere else. You know what I mean? So you can actually, if you're looking for space, these are ways to cut your space. You know what I mean? Like free up space.
One thing I haven't done, go ahead.
On your mail that you're backing up,
Yes.
is it backing up all the mail that's on here?
Yep.
So then, if you use Outlook and that a lot on here, you should probably do
Yeah, I would. It just gives you another place of storage.
that. Okay.
One of the things that's coming in, here, and Apple's making a big announcement today about their new iPads and the new operating system and all that. The top thing where it says iPad or iCloud Drive, I've got mine turned off. I have a Mac computer, an iPad, and iPhone. What will happen is iCloud Drive will actually share with a group of people if you want it to. But the functionality isn't there just yet. And I'm waiting for this announcement today to see exactly how you invoke all this stuff. So I can turn it on and nothing's going to work the way I would have expected to. So I want to be aware of how it actually is supposed to work. But anyway, I've got everything turned on: photos, mail, contacts, calendars, and those are all turned on. And then down here at the bottom, I've got backup, so it's going to back up. It's going to back up some documents, not everything, and settings and things of that type. I don't have keychain turned on. Keychain, I get a little worried when I have to rely on something else to remember my passwords. But that's probably not this day and age. That's probably something I need to get a little more comfortable with. Keychain will actually remember your credit card numbers. So when if you use your iPad to purchase something, it will remember the credit card number. Well, I have a little trouble with that. So that's why I don't have mine turned on. The last thing I have turned on there, Find My iPad. I really encourage you to do this, Find My iPad. So,
Okay, well, like I'm trying to do mail or notes. I don't have those two on.
okay.
But when I go to mail, it wants me to create a free @iCloud.com email. And that's
Okay.
not the one I want to back up. I want to back up my
Okay,
SEC.
so I might have misspoke. So it might only be backing up the iCloud mail. The SEC, they'll be backed up automatically.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I might have misspoke.
I'm sorry.
No, I might have misspoke. The Find My iPad, what's unique about that is not only will it track it by GPS, it'll locate it, but it'll also give you the option to actually wipe it if you have stuff on there that you actually want to wipe. And so you can set it back to factory default settings remotely. And I think this is probably a request by the New York Police Department. That they were pretty busy with this, trying to find people's iPads and phones. And with this functionality, the thefts of iPhones have decreased tremendously because they're no good. They can't break them, or they can't make them functional anymore. So anyway, those would be some things to look at. We'll talk a little bit more about iCloud Drive when Apple makes a little more announcement, gives a little more information about today. All right, so we'll in our resources this week, we'll put in these resources about the backup. The backup document does a good job of talking about what's backed up and then as well as we'll put these new features. And then this guy here is pretty good, pretty comprehensive. CNET is I'm not sure where exactly it started. It's been around with technology computers for a long time, but they did a nice iOS guide that has like 30 things on the new operating system. And really, it's kind of like, and some people have the notion, well, so what? We don't care about what operating system our cars use. It has one because there's a computer in our car. We don't care. So really, this is kind of, I don't care either, but there's some tools that it allows to happen that are very helpful. So
Should I show them the photo app?
well, let's do that.
Okay. What kind
Well,
of?
Libby's, you'll just kick me off, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me start hers up. I'm going to just talk for a little bit about how we're doing this conference. We're using a service called Zoom, ZOM.us.us. It's a free service. For free, you can do a meeting one-to-one for unlimited time. Create a free account with an email address. You can do a one-to-one meeting and that meeting can last any length of time. You can have any number of those meetings. If you go more than one-to-one, the length of the meeting is limited to 40 minutes. You can have up to 25 people on the meeting, and as long as they have a webcam and a microphone, they can see it here. So we're going to try this with a 100-year-old lady this weekend. She's having a birthday in Colorado. It'll be interesting to see how that works. She has some grandnieces and nephews who are dispatched around the world, so we'll see if they can figure out the right time zone and the right times.
So that sounds cool. 100-year-old lady, huh?
Yes.
So are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
So what we're doing to display our iPad screens, we're using an app called Air Server. And Air Server will run on Windows, runs on Mac, and then we've got it on this screen up here. There's actually a computer mounted to the back of the screen, so we've got a computer. So we're on our wireless network, and then we're doing all this wireless.
So I'm going into camera now, and Bruce pointed this out to me, and I played around with it this morning. I'll show you. Can you see it says time-lapse video over there? The camera is really pretty good.
Yeah, the second, third, fourth generations of the iPads have the back camera is a high-def camera, and the video really does take pretty good video. The front camera is not as high quality, but very functional.
So before I leave this, and I'll show you the very short time-lapse video I took, but do you see where it says time-lapse? And it's kind of like a radial dial where you just kind of have to slide up. Now your video, regular video, a photo, or I'm not just making me dizzy. When you take photos, they go via your camera, they go into your photos. So I'll open it. So you saw my little cube, it's coming back. Maybe. Okay, I don't know if it'll show us or not. So this is kind of what your photos generally look like. Yes, those are adorable kittens. But I'm going to show you under videos, hopefully. I have a 15-second one and a 2-second one. So kind of, oh, see, it doesn't want to show it, Bruce. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I'm kind of obsessed with, I just think that's coming off of my car. Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Looks so scientific. Okay, so what a time-lapse photo does is basically it skips frames. Okay, so that was 15 seconds. Now I want to show you the 2-second one. Isn't that cool? I know. But the other thing I wanted to mention is if you do want to take photos of your car or something like that, what I used this morning was one of those nice iPad stands. And the other day, I know Carl's used his iPad in like as a document camera to show like a titration, to show the visual kind of close up for students. And I just think those iPad stands are kind of nice to hold your iPad and show things like that. But I also want to show you in photos. Sorry, I'm back in photos. It just doesn't like showing them. But I wanted to show you kind of quickly how I then I think it's kind of a new cropping feature. You kind of see those like, there's like a bunch of words and stuff. Those little things are actually, you might recognize they're for my chemistry students. They're screenshots of the problems that they need to turn in. So what I do is I take, I have the e-text for that we're using in class. And so ahead of time, I take a screenshot and then I crop it. So if you see that little edit feature up there, I can click on edit. And like I think Bruce was saying, this used to be in, is it iPhotos?
iPhone, yes.
Yeah. But I clicked the crop button there and this is already cropped, but oh, look, I got, when I clicked the crop, it basically uncropped. That was the stuff I took it from. So it's just a nice way to, you know, kind of get something that you want to present to somebody else. It's got edit features that are nice.
So you can also rotate up here, and then there's a reset. There's a reset function.
Revert.
Revert. The one thing you want to be aware of anytime you do photos, you don't want to mess up the original. So the original may have some application, even with its flaws. But that might be the reason you want to show the picture to say, here's the flaws and here's the corrected version. So you want to always be sure it's not a copy is the point. So those are the tools, and they're built in now. They're built in now to the photo app itself.
And then one other thing, like, so I'm back to just the regular photo album. So you see that little square in the lower left-hand corner? If I click that, that's always, you might know it's a sharing square. And so one of the things that I have set up this semester is, and I'm going to talk about it tomorrow at the in-service day, I have a feed for my students. It's a Twitter feed, so don't make fun of me. But like I can click, if I want to show my students that, I can click Twitter, okay? And then actually, you see it's already for my general chemistry students, and I can say, here it is, and it will be posted to my Twitter feed, and they can see it. So that's kind of nice.
I definitely, there's the share feature. How many people have used that share feature, that share function on any photos or anything like that?
I was looking for whatever that was the other night, but I wanted to send something. I couldn't figure out how to.
How do I do that? How do I do that? Yeah, it's like the same way on like the, how do I send an attachment, an email attachment? And it's, this is a real part I didn't make that. It's kind of like reverse Polish notation, which was like the first scientific calculator used reverse Polish notation. You had to put in the plus sign before you add an 8, and then +7. You have to tell what you're going to do first before you put the number. This is kind of like that, where you have to actually go into the photo, you go to what you want to attach, and then share it via email. While we're talking about sharing, Libby, can you go into you swipe from the bottom of your screen? Can you do that?
Before you get into that, at least the current version of Page on text messages does have a little camera button down here that allows you can put in your text message and then click on that to either take a picture or attach a picture. And I don't think that was there in 7.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Libby, can you see Don? He's waving now.
Okay.
I think you're right. I think now with the text, you can add some where you can add pictures to your text.
Yeah,
There's also
I haven't tried that with an email.
There's also video text now. That's kind of neat. You should not be able to send a video with your text.
You can also send an audio attachment to the text message.
Right. So that's kind of an interesting feature. If I swipe, let's see what I'm on. Get out of this here. Out of mine.
Do we stop sharing?
What I wanted to do was, if you could show your iPad, I wanted to show AirDrop.
Okay.
And just mention what AirDrop does. let's say in here that somebody had a picture and we wanted to share that picture with everybody that's in here, without sending them an email. All right. So down at the bottom,
my version of the iPad doesn't have that.
okay. All right. So let me see if I can get mine on.
That means I need an upgrade.
So let's take a photo, for instance. So I've got a photo here. Libby, you want me to share?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna get off.
Yeah, let me share. All right, so I'm in Zoom now, so I can share my screen, and then I'm going to share my iPad screen with sound. So there's my screen. So if I go down here, and when I say down here, I'm down here on that icon, and I tap on that. One of the options I have here is share by AirPlay. There's a more, and some of those are, I can add some more ways to share it, is what I'm saying, or I can turn them off. So I've got Twitter turned on, I've got Facebook turned off. I can share it with Evernote. Evernote's a nice note-taking app. What I was really looking for was, I want to look at AirPlay. All right, so I can add I can say, all right, I want to be able to share this photo by AirPlay, and that's not what I want to do. AirDrop is the magic word I was looking for. So here's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I've got Barb. Barb is in my contacts. That's why if I tap on Barb here, this is Barb Butts. It says tap, it's real hard to read, tap to share with AirDrop. So I tapped it, it's got a check mark by it, and I'm going to share that with Barb Butts. And it says sent. And we can't see Barb's screen, but on Barb's screen, I just sent her that photo.
Which photo?
That one?
This photo of this.
Yeah, I can't do it on my iPad.
Yeah,
I can on my iPhone.
Yeah.
I must have just sent somebody, did I just?
Was it me?
Do you have a countertop?
I do.
Okay, I didn't know I was.
Yeah. So AirDrop came into 7.
Okay, I didn't know that was her.
It says Schaumburg Tuesday at 9:50, and it's got Ross in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
I'm sure you sent that to me.
You get an alert that says, do you want to accept that?
Right, I did.
Yeah. So you get an alert that says, do you want to accept it? So what I have, the reason I don't show everybody up here is because in my AirPlay, I say contacts only. So you can kind of narrow that down to everybody.
So how did I get her then?
Because she has AirDrop functionality turned on.
Okay.
And she has it set, and you've got yours set up to show anyone. You might not have that.
Wow.
So anybody who has AirDrop turned on, you probably see their, or they were sharing their.
If they accepted it.
Yeah.
If I accepted it,
Yeah.
and somebody in here is doing something.
Yeah, prankster over here. The prankster over here is sending notes. But anyway, that AirDrop's kind of nice for sharing, especially photos and videos wirelessly. The key on much of this is you have to be on the same Wi-Fi network. So here on campus, we have 2 Wi-Fi networks. We have one that's called SEC, and we have a second one that's SEC Guest. So if somebody comes in and they're on SEC Guest, and somebody else is on SEC, it ain't going to happen. You both have to be on the same network, both on SEC or both on SEC Guest. Or if you're in somebody's hotel room, same thing. Make sure you're on the same.
Or if I'm at home and Jan's at work.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
You have to use some other method. Like Don said, now you can text the pictures and instead of texting, might be to send a message. So on the iPad, the iMessage app or the message app will send text to other iPads and other iPhones.
Is that new, Bruce?
What's that?
iMessages? Because I don't remember ever knowing I could send a text from here unless I just plain didn't pay any attention.
Yeah, you've always been able to do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
obviously I never messed with it.
Yeah.
What's interesting is sometimes I will get text messages on my iPad that I would normally get on my phone, and I think it's because I'm at home and it's all on the same Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm going to share one thing I experienced this morning that I hadn't played with. I thought I'm not going to care about. This will be a big announcement for the Mac computers today at the Apple event today. But I was at home this morning. I had this iPad on, and I had my phone sitting in the same room. So they were on the same Wi-Fi network at home. My phone rings, and next thing I look, my iPad is ringing. So with this new operating system, with the version 8.02, you can answer your phone calls that go to your iPhones on your iPad. And today it's going to add that functionality to your Mac computer. So the operating system they're now
Mobile device.
I know, but the idea, a new function that's there now in the iOS, for the iPad and the phone, is you're able to take say a mail message that you're reading and go and open up mail on your phone, and you should have the same message will be open on your phone in the same place you finished. The technology or that functionality is called continuity. So this continuity feature, I think, is going to be a big one. Something else of the major thing with iOS 8 is now with healthcare. Don, I know, has got an iPhone. Barb's got an iPhone. Anybody ever taken a blood pressure using the camera on their iPhone? So we do that on the iPad too. There's a free app. If you do a search in the App Store for like the BP or blood pressure or some heartbeat or something like that, there's a free app, and you just hold your finger over the camera, and it does blood pressure. It's pretty accurate. I did it the other day at a doctor's office, an eye doctor's office, actually, with my wife. We spent some time, and so it works. I mean, I'm thinking, well, hers relative to mine, and she was the patient that day, so mine wasn't very elevated. Hers was considerably elevated.
So you hold it over your arm?
You hold your finger over the camera, the back camera. Yeah, the back camera. So you just hold your finger, you start the app, it'll say start. I think it may have like a record, like a red button. I don't remember exactly what the app is. But anyway, one of the things that's going to be really big, there's two big things that are going to happen with the new operating system. One is the health, all these remote health devices, from blood pressure to all kinds of things. And there's a number of different companies that are in that niche. And the other area is payments. So merchants are trying to cut fees if they pay the MasterCard or Visa. So now people are going to be able to start paying with just off the phone. But what that entails is, all right, so what's the device at the business? So is it the local cash register? When you go to, it's amazing that you start going to some businesses now, the iPad is the point of sale device. You go to some restaurants and that's the menu.
And that's what they show on when they take their phone and pay their bill.
And that paying by phone is going to be a big deal, or you're just swiping your phone. So those are two big deals. All right, so
Where do you change the settings?
where is, I think it's in settings. You tap, what I did down here at the bottom, if I tap in the black area, so Cheryl will see this, if I tap this black area, I get this pops up from the bottom.
On the camera?
I'm not tapping the
Oh,
clear one, right?
Mine's here.
Everyone is going.
They're playing over there now.
So when you did something, let's say you go to a conference, and you got everybody, you're gonna see everybody. Sometimes that's a
How did you show I found it? Everyone, you don't want to do
So
that.
tap on your other one.
Oh, just turn it off and then.
Do it yeah, whatever you want to choose, and then you just toggle back, turn it back on if you want.
So Bruce, on the photos, on the old operating system, you had one where you had all your folders in the camera roll. And it said
Right.
camera roll. This one doesn't have it, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Because I'm sitting there going, what happened to my camera roll?
mine says camera.
Albums, yeah. So they did away with the term camera roll. They did.
You used
So
to have one on top of it, you didn't show all, now it's just,
it's albums and collections. Is that what it is?
it's got years and
Yeah, and so you can sort it all different ways.
okay, well, it just kind of threw me there because I thought I'm so used to hitting it to have all come up, and here it's got it broken down by different dates and.
Yeah, it kind of did it more granular than just the
Okay.
general
I just want to
collection
make sure I
lines.
didn't do something wrong.
Well, I think we're bumping up against something else to do.
We get 40 minutes on the free version. We're about 12:37, so we're probably bumping up against our time. It's probably going to give us that warning. All right, go ahead, Libby.
Next week, are we still looking at everything Google?
Yeah, I won't be here next Thursday. I got meetings and we're visiting some other community colleges next Thursday. So do you want to do Google, or is there something else you'd like to do?
Was there more on like mail and contacts and that you could do next week, Libby, or today, or?
We did. Can I just show a quick one on mail? While we're kind of talking, go ahead and talk, and I'll just open up my mail. And
What I was going to say is that Bruce is better at that stuff than I am. So,
I'm sorry. What I was going to show, since my screen's up there. All right, so here's an email, and in this email there is underlined 1 p.m. You see where 1 p.m. is?
I do.
All right. And if I tap and hold there, in a moment I may have to come back. I may have to open it up again. I'm not sure why that black is showing up there, but there we go. So if I tap and hold on that 1 o'clock, I get an option that says, so if I just tap and leave my finger there, I get an option that says, there's something in this email, do you want to put on your calendar? So I don't have to send a meeting request. I can say right here, go create an event. So here's what happens. So I go say create an event. It will open up the calendar in a moment. Maybe my calendar is already open. All right. So my calendar's over here, and it should have created an event at whatever it was, 1 o'clock. I had something else already there.
you're busy.
All right. Yeah, today's one of those days. So anyway, it'll add an event to your calendar always. So if you get an email that has something underlined, or if I have something, this is not there's that 1 p.m. again. There's a 10 a.m. So if I tap and hold it, I get that option. I can say, all right, show in calendar. Goes to the calendar and says, all right.
And it puts it in there.
Yeah, you can put it in right in there. Yeah. And then you can say, all right, no, I really don't want it. I can delete that event. And so
From your
forth.
calendar.
Yeah, from the calendar. So the other thing, if I take 5 fingers on my screen, I can just close where I was. That's kind of handy sometimes. And if you hold 5 fingers and you swipe left or right, that'll move from application to application too. So that's kind of a quick tip.
Yeah.
While we're also on something else on mail, I don't think I have an example here. All right, here's let's see who this was. Don't have. That's not going to help. One of the things in mail now, they've added some features. If I go here to say food service and I swipe to the left, I can trash it, I can flag it, and I also, if I tap more, I get more options than we used to have. So they've added some features to that. If there's an address, so here over, if I wanted this person here, if I wanted to, if I tap down there where it says Jason Witt, sometimes, and I say sometimes, I can, if I go to his email.
Oh, and then you can like make contact.
Yeah, so if I, from his email there, I can add that. I can make a contact or I can add it to an existing contact. I just, again, tap and hold and it'll pop up. Yeah. So let's say if I go here, say this phone number here. So if I tap and hold, it says, all right, call using an iPhone, FaceTime audio, send a message, add a contacts. So I could add this to a contact as well. So if I just tap and hold, I get something else pops up. So works on an email address, works on a phone number.
Anything that's blue like that.
Yeah. So just tap and hold it, and it'll do that. Last tip of the day is with the new operating system, there is an app called Tips. And basically, this is an app that's updated every week with a new tip. And so you tap down here on where it says Start Learning, and it'll offer some tips. And they're pretty succinct, and they'll have a little video associated with them sometimes, with a little audio, and you can give them some feedback if you like it. And so right now there's 14 tips, and down here in the bottom right, we've got that share button. So sometimes that share button looks like a piece of paper with an arrow coming out, but sometimes it looks like a piece of paper with a curved arrow coming out. So depending on who wrote the app, they've used different icons. So that's our tips.
So back to, next week we could, Deb, just kind of, and what do you guys think about just doing more just with the iPad, just kind of basic things that, and kind of question answer, and I could share some of my other favorite things.
I mean, basic works for me because I'm below basic right now.
I think that sounds like a good place.
Okay, just kind of continue on, and I'll talk with you, Bruce, and you won't be here, but you might have some ideas what to share and kind of.
Yeah, when we talk on Tuesday, we'll do that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Libby. See you, Mike.
This will be posted on our blog.
Okay.
All right, so we'll have those resources for you.
Now, how do we get to the blog?
All right, Libby, can you put up the blog? We'll send an email also, but.
Let's see, I wonder how I could, how about this? Dun, dun, dun. Share screen. I'm kicking you off, Bruce.
So one of the things you can do with Zoom, I really like the way it's working here with sharing your iPad through Zoom. And we're using kind of, Zoom is doing the conferencing, Air Server is getting us to the computers. All right, so here's the link for the blog.
Real catchy.
Yeah.
And are you gonna like email that to us?
Yeah, we'll email that. We'll email that to the personnel list too. Yeah.
I feel bad sending all this stuff to personnel, but I will.
All right.
Just send it to.
Just send it to.
That's right. Never mind.
They can ignore us. All right, Libby. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Bye. Well, thank you, everybody. Hopefully you got